Hey guys, what is going on? It's Simon here from Get Into Crypto. Wanted to bring you a quick update for Bitcoin. So we'll get straight into the charts. Obviously, in my last video, I talked about us looking to find a bit of a lowdown here at the bottom of this channel and where potentially we could go next. I personally think we haven't bottomed yet. So I know there's a few people out there that are saying this could be a bottom. For me personally, I just think it's too obvious to bottom here at the bottom side of this channel. I don't think there's been enough pain yet to the bulls and to the hodlers in this market. And I think we're in a position where we're liable to come off a bit more. So what I'm actually looking for, I've drawn this, sort of path here, these lines as to what I think the price is going to do over the last few next few weeks and months. I think we could see a little bit of sideways action whilst we sort of test the bottom of this range here, bottom of this channel. Eventually, I do think we'll break it down. I mean, we do have, having said that, we do have some confluence here with this 100-week moving average, which will come in to support the price. So, all hope is not lost. We might still bottom out here, but I personally don't see it. I personally just can't see that happening for me anyway. So I do think that this line will break, and I think a more major support is going to be around this 29-30k level. That's what I think we're going to see. I think we need to tag that level. What I think is probably quite likely is that we come and we kind of whip below this, and actually we initiate a bit of a bear trap down here. I think that would actually be, for me anyway, our most bullish scenario from here, to actually come down, to panic a few more longs out of this market, to trap a few shorts that think, right, we've broken this 29k level, we're going to hit 20k, and then for us to reverse from there, and we see some big buyers come in, and then we can push that market up. And I actually think, I don't think we'll be in a prolonged bear market. I still think we have longer to go in this cycle. I think we're in a light lengthening cycle, and of course, yeah, I mean, anything can happen, but I just don't see crypto going away. I think for me anyway, there's a real buzz. There's a real sort of, fundamentally, there's just so much happening. There's so many developments in the space right now. Obviously, we've been dragged down by the Nasdaq mainly, and I just don't see crypto going away. Crypto's here to stay. I don't see us going into like a multi-month bear market where we, basically go sideways for any longer than a month or two. So, yeah, I personally think the move down here will get bought up pretty quickly. I think a lot of people want to get in to Bitcoin under the 30k level. So I think this will prove a nice entry for some of those, probably those institutions that missed out on a lot of this and actually want to ride the next wave. A wave that I think will take us into six figures. So, yeah, that's my current thoughts. Of course, I've drawn this further drop, and I do think it's a possibility that it would come down when we tag the 200-week moving average. Bitcoin, if you look in Bitcoin's history, I mean, it likes to come down and bottom on that 200-week moving average. We did it back in the last bear market. So obviously, it's it is like a major target for us in this bearish phase. But I think, again, is it a little bit too obvious? There's going to be a lot of orders around here. I can see this getting front run. The same with the previous all-time high, which is back here at like 20,000. Yeah, I think for me, these levels could get front run. So yeah, I mean, I've put it on here. That for me is my worst case scenario. I think there'll be huge buying that comes in around this area, but I'm kind of favoring a bottom right now around the sort of 25, 26k level. That is my preferred scenario, or maybe a little bit higher, like 27, kind of but between like 25 and 27k. And I think when this market does bottom out, it'll turn around quite quickly. There's still a lot of sort of fundamental drivers there. Like, I just want to say, like, there's nothing on the supply side that is bearish. I mean, a liquid supply is going to all-time highs. You've got exchange reserves hitting like record lows. You've got wallet addresses accumulating. You've just got so many sort of bullish drivers, bullish factors in terms of the supply side. In terms of the demand side, we just need a little bit of a catalyst, I think, to be able to sort of flick the switch again on this market and really see the market start to go bid. And, you know, maybe that comes from the Fed. Maybe that comes from some sort of adoption from another country adopting, you know, Bitcoin as legal tender. Maybe it comes from, you know, a big company like one of the sort of big tech companies embracing Bitcoin, like an Amazon or a Google or Apple or somebody. Or maybe it's the Bitcoin ETF. So, you know, the way you've got to look at it, there's these things that you can almost like lean on. I mean, crypto's here to stay. It is the future. And for that reason, there's always going to be sort of, you know, almost fundamental like positive fundamental unknowns, but they're sort of almost like unknown knowns in a way, because something like an ETF, like we know eventually it will happen. I mean, the SEC and the US government are trying to clean up the crypto space right now, presumably to pave way for a Bitcoin ETF. Obviously, we've got a futures ETF, and obviously the next progression from that should be to actually have a spot ETF, which is what we're waiting for. So, you know, I was speaking to a friend about this today, and he was saying, well, maybe an ETF will get approved at the start of February. I just don't see it personally. I don't think we see this sort of price action today. We're obviously having some big selling. We're like losing key support levels going into what could be an ETF approval. For me, that ETF approval will be getting front run from somebody, and we'd see the price going up. So maybe that ETF approval comes like later on in the year, when we're approaching our all-time highs, and that actually could provide the catalyst to then give us some sort of blow off into the six-figure ranges, which is what a lot of us have been waiting for, myself included. But yeah, I mean, this is not financial advice, so please don't. It's entertainment purposes only. Please don't take any of this as financial advice. But all I can comment on is what I'm doing. Obviously, this is what I'm positioned for. You know, I've taken a little bit out below the 40k level. If we actually run up into the 40k level, sort of 41 level, I personally will be taking a little bit more off, just because for me, if you actually look at the move from say 41k like down to where, you know, potentially my worst case scenario, which is low 20s, you're getting on for nearly a 50% drop. Now, if Bitcoin falls 50%, then the altcoins are going to fall 60, 70, 80%, maybe even 90%. And that's from current levels as well, remember. That's not even from the highs. So, you know, I think things could get really nasty, like really quickly, potentially. And I just think for me, in my position, like I'm still about sort of 70, 80% allocated to Bitcoin. You know, I want to get a little bit more capital raised, just because I think this, for me, is the most probable scenario right now. I do think this market needs to fully flush out all the bullish sentiment and all the hopium and all the moon boys and whatever you want to call them. You know, I see that move playing out. I really see that move playing out. I think anybody that was back in sort of 2018, like in that market, like I think every time like Bitcoin bounced, and please be aware, like some of these bounces were huge. You're talking about, you know, 100% bounce from 6k there, and then we had like even sort of midway through the year, we had like nearly a 50% bounce from this 6k level. So yeah, is 30k like the new 6k? You know, who knows? I mean, you know, can we get, for example, like a 50% bounce from here? But obviously that would take us up to sort of the high 40s. But I think until we get above 52k, I'm not going back to full bearish. For me, it's just going to be bear market rallies. It's rallies for obviously taking some off, to be honest with you. So yeah, I do think over time we will get through here, and yeah, this will be like a major accumulation area, I think, under 30k. And yeah, for me that's the most likely outcome. I really think that's on the cards right now. Obviously, some of the other markets, such as Ethereum, I think will probably follow suit. I see Ethereum coming down and probably testing these lows around sort of the 1800 mark, and potentially coming back and actually retesting its all-time high, which would be around the 1400s. So yeah, I mean, even Ethereum, like from there, if you even just take where we are right now, sort of coming back to obviously the lows from last summer. You're looking at a 36% drop. And if you go even lower, you're looking at a 46% drop. Now, obviously, if Ethereum falls, say 46%, I'd expect Bitcoin to fall, at least about sort of 35% or so from where it currently is. And if we did something like a 35% drop, then you're getting down to around the sort of 24K level. Maybe it won't go quite that low, but yeah, this is kind of where I'm at. So yeah, sorry, it's not more of an optimistic video right now on the crypto market. Like I say, I was here through 2018, and I think a lot of people that were sort of back and have been in the crypto space for a few years kind of realized that sort of the bear markets can get quite ugly. The only thing I would say that is actually making me think that it won't go this low is the fact that we never had a parabolic blow off like we did back in 2017. So we never had this style of move. You can see like the market last year was completely different. So obviously off the back of this move, we then saw like a massive dump. But if we just sort of almost cut out this parabolic, I mean, still say parabolic, but if we look at, like, say, for example, it's not even the second peak, it's like the third peak. But if we actually take this drop, we're looking at about 7%. This is obviously ignoring the first peak, right? So where does 70% take us? Well, 70% takes us down to about 20K. Obviously, we in the absence of having that, huge parabolic move, potentially that's where we're going to go to. So, yeah, they're my thoughts. Obviously, I didn't want to do a really long one right now. Like we're kind of, in terms of the shorter term timeframes, we're kind of sort of stuck in limbo a little bit right now in terms of where we are, kind of in between, support around 33K, resistance around sort of 41, 42K. It's likely, I think it is likely we do test up at 42K before retesting 33 and potentially breaking lower. But like I say, these are kind of my thoughts. I do think that potentially the market will bottom out at the end of the second quarter, and actually Q3 and Q4 could be quite good. But I think I almost think the sooner this move happens, the better, because it's going to sort of reset the market fully, take out all the sort of bullish sentiment, and kind of really reset us to where we need to be to then sort of attack these all-time highs again. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Obviously, if you did enjoy the content, please do smash like, subscribe, help support the channel, and yeah, I'll be back again with another update soon.